What's happening, all you lovely people? Welcome back on my channel, Danny FYR. Find your reason. I'm Danny B, aka Stan, aka whatever you wanna call me. Right, for today's video, I was looking through. The channel's actually called Top Tens, and I was looking through and I found a video. What intrigued me, the title, and it was called Criminals Who Were Haunted by Their Victims. So it sounds like more like the unfortunate, the unfortunate haunted what they've done to them, if you get what I'm saying. I can't say it on YouTube, but without further ado, let's just get into the video, huh? Let's go.
Criminals often do evil things and get away with it. But sometimes their victims are able to get their revenge from beyond the grave. Welcome back, Charlie here. Today we'll look at some criminals who were haunted by their victims. From a gang that collapsed after one of their members was haunted by a victim of their crimes, to an infamous criminal who was only caught because of a little girl's spirit. The first criminal we'll look at is named Ah Fong. Surprisingly, she was an innocent-seeming teenage girl. She was recruited by the secretive Triad gang in Hong Kong. Her job was to lure victims into their trap. And in 1999, one of their victims was named Fan Man Yi. Fan Man Yi was captured one night by this gang in Hong Kong. The gang said that she owed them $20,000. The gang spent an entire month interrogating Fan Man Yi. But sadly, after 1 month, Fan's injuries meant that she passed away. The rest of the very evil gang simply moved on,
So in other words, they basically, it's saying, spoke to her for a month, but they basically tortured her for a month, and not nice people at all. The triads, getting mixed up in all that. Oof.
Except Ah Fong. Ah Fong, who had helped in the crime, began getting terrible nightmares. She kept seeing the ghost of Fan Man Yi. She was unable to sleep for days, and was absolutely traumatized by what had happened. Eventually, Ah Fong could not cope, and she called the police. At first, the police did not believe her. They thought she was delusional or crazy. But then Ah Fong took the police to the crime scene, and there they discovered the remains of Fan Man Yi. She had been hidden inside a Hello Kitty mermaid doll.
Oh my lord. They hid her inside the Hello Kitty mermaid doll. The stench must have been foul when the police went into there. And I don't know if they mean literally haunted, by something. But I mean, if they are being literally haunted, I guess they deserve it, You can't take someone's life.
The 3 gang members involved were arrested and were sentenced to life in prison. And Ah Fong testified in exchange for immunity. Ah Fong's story is chilling, but an even scarier criminal is Jose Ferreira. This man is the epitome of evil. In 1982, when he was 17, he went to a party. That's when he met a 13-year-old named Carrie Ann Jopek. Jose gave her substances and tried to get her to go to the basement with him.
Ooh, 13 years old. I have a 12-year-old daughter, you know what I mean? And there's things I can't say on here, but yeah. Let kids be kids, man. 13 years old. Horrible, horrible, man. Sorry, I'll just take that back a little bit, because when I hear things that hit close to home, it does get my emotions going a little bit.
Year-old named Carrie Ann Jopek. Jose gave her substances and tried to get her to go to the basement with him, but that's when Carrie said she didn't want to. Jose responded by saying, "You're going downstairs," and he then pushed Carrie down the stairs into the basement. But the fall broke Carrie's neck. Jose then did terrible things to Carrie. Jose then snuck her body out of the house and buried it under the neighbor's porch. After 17 months, Carrie was discovered, but police were baffled and there were no leads or witnesses. But
I hope they do mean a literal haunting, and I hope that horrible, horrible man gets no peace, no rest, haunted every second of every day.
during these 17 years, Jose was being tormented every night,
Good.
according to him, by Carrie's spirit.
Good.
He would have sleepless nights where he would just hear Carrie screaming. Eventually, Jose said he was driven insane. So after nearly 2 decades, he finally went to the police and confessed. Do you think this was Carrie's spirit calling out, trying to get revenge? Even though it took many years, justice was served, and Carrie's parents got to see her killer put behind bars.
Yeah, horrible man. Deserves to be where he's at. And it's either a little literal haunting or the guilt is just kills them, you know. But either way, they get everything they deserve.
Now let's look at this criminal named Bhim Shankar Giri. Bhim was a happily married man from Mumbai, India. But he had a problem. His own brother. Bhim's brother would not stop harassing his wife. Bhim told his brother to stop countless times, but his brother would not stop. Bhim's hatred of his brother grew more and more, until one day he reached a tipping point. He then decided to take his brother's life. The police and Bhim's family had no idea what happened, but scarily, 1 week later, Bhim began hearing his brother's voice. Bhim's brother said he was going to haunt him and give him sleepless nights for the rest of his life. Every night, Bhim would have nightmares of his brother choking him. Eventually, it all became too much.
Well, that's karma, isn't it? Every night he'd feel like his brother's choking him. Yeah, karma can be a bitch.
And Bhim confessed to his family. Bhim's family called the police and Bhim was sentenced to life in prison. Even though Bhim's brother was in the wrong, it does not excuse what Bhim did. But Bhim is nowhere near as evil as this man. This man is named Terry Childs. In 1985, this man took the life of 17-year-old Janine Segala. Terry was convicted and sentenced to 41 years in prison. But while he was in prison, he began confessing to more things he'd done. This included many lives he'd taken. In total, he confessed to taking 12 people's lives. But he was only ever convicted of 5 of these murders. In court, he made a very scary admission. He said he confessed because he was being haunted by his victims. He said his confession was a last-ditch effort to free himself from these ghosts. He said he would often see his victims in his cell staring at him, and had dreams of them eating his brain.
I mean, he deserves everything he gets, you know, but just imagine being haunted to that extent. Oh, wow. I mean, he deserves it, don't get me wrong, he deserves it. I mean, if it's true, I mean, I've never really had any ghostly experiences, I'd say, so I don't know whether it's true or not, but if it is, I mean, just the thought of it gives me the creeps, you know. But, yeah, I mean, these deserve everything they get.
After he confessed to the crimes, the ghosts disappeared. Maybe people who have their lives ended prematurely come back and get revenge from the afterlife. Something similar happened with criminal Mark Bridger. Mark Bridger was a very evil man from the UK.
I remember this case, and it was an awful, awful case. He's an awful, awful man. But I didn't know about anything about haunting to do with this case, so let's see what it's got to say.
2012, Mark was driving around his local area. That's when he saw a young girl, 5-year-old April Jones. April Jones approached Mark's car, but that was the last time she was seen alive. At first, Mark said this was an accident, but police did not believe this for 1 second. And a later investigation found that Mark did this on purpose. Mark was sentenced to life in prison, but a few years later, one of Mark's fellow inmates was released from prison and disclosed something scary. He said that Mark would see visions of April Jones in his cell. Apparently, April's ghost torments Mark and gives him sleepless nights. Frankly, I don't feel sorry for him one bit.
I don't feel sorry for him one bit neither, because I actually know the details of what he did to that poor little girl. And it's details what you're probably thinking of right now. Obviously, I can't really talk about things like that on YouTube. But I think what I can say is that bones of that little girl, not many of them were found in a burn bin. I think that's as much as I can say, but you can imagine what happened beforehand as well, you know. Yeah, I don't feel sorry for that man one bit, and I hope that little girl haunts him for the rest of his life.
Let's look at the top 2 stories of criminals haunted by their victims. This is Adrian Dao. In 2010, he took the life of a woman named Jennifer Stewart. He did this in a parking lot in Ottawa, Canada. Because it was at night, there were no witnesses and police were stumped. For 3 years, the crime was unsolved and police had no leads. But one day, out of nowhere, a man named Adrian Dao confessed to police. At first, police did not believe Adrian. But after questioning, there were some things only the killer would know. And Adrian answered all of the questions correctly. But here's where it gets weird. When police asked Adrian why he did it, he said it was to launch his music career. He said, quote, "If I killed someone, I'd be a really good rapper, because people talk about killer stuff." But why did Adrian confess? Well, he said that after the incident, he would often see Jennifer's ghost. He said he saw Jennifer's ghost multiple times.
I mean, that's some motive, isn't it? That's some motive to murder someone. To become a rapper. That doesn't make you a rapper. That doesn't make you nothing. Crazy, man. I mean, yeah, in these raps you hear about people, you know, shooting on the ops and all that. But I mean, you can't just go and murder someone just because you think it'll make you a good rapper. Oops. I hope YouTube doesn't pick up on that word there. I shouldn't have said it. Let's go.
Per day flying over him, and also standing over his bed at night. Now let's take a look at one more haunted criminal. In 2013, Victor Amawuga from Ghana got into a taxi, but that was when Victor took the taxi driver's life. That wasn't enough, and he took another taxi driver's life. Victor then went on the run, but that's when he began getting haunted by his victims. Ghosts of his victims would appear in his dreams, and according to Victor, began slapping him while he slept. Victor Amawuga could not sleep for days. Eventually, he told a friend about what he did, and Victor's friend quickly called the police. Victor was arrested and soon confessed. He expressed remorse but was sentenced to life in prison.
Yeah.
But in prison, Victor warned other inmates to not repeat their crimes. He warned them that if they took people's lives, they may be haunted by the victims' ghosts. Just like what was happening to Victor, even behind bars. But now it's time for you to make your voice heard. Comment down below which was the scariest case of criminals being haunted. If you want to see my short videos, then check out my second channel.
Yeah, that was criminals who were haunted by their victims. The channel's top 10s if you want to go over there and subscribe to them. More importantly, please subscribe to my channel. I need all the support I can get right now. I know it takes time, you know, one subscriber at a time. Yeah, I just recently noticed also I gained a new subscriber. So whoever you are, thank you very much and keep watching. There'll be more good content to come. Um, about that video there, like I said, I don't know if ghosts are real. I mean, I've never really had any encounters with spirits or ghosts, but I mean, in in that sense of the video we've just watched, I hope they are real, you know, and I hope they do haunt them type of people because they deserve it. They deserve everything they get. And like I say, that UK case, the one I knew about, that was an awful, awful case. I can't tell you much more than that. April Jones was the kid's name, so if you want to look into it yourselves, you can. But I mean, it's not a very nice story, so I wouldn't advise it anyway, you know. But the world's a strange place. Most people are good, but as you know, there's the bad apples out there all over. So just watch your backs, stay safe, know your surroundings at all times, you know. And that's all I've got to say about that video, really. Yeah. So you know how it go, people. For this video, I'm out. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I'm Danny B, aka Stan, aka whatever the fuck you wanna call me. And you know how it go, people. Until next time, peace.